All right, welcome to another Grit and Grime basketball podcast. Hello out there. I'm your host, as always, David Sagoe, here with Thomas Arnal.
Hello.
And Jose Garcia Vidal.
Hello, listeners. How are you today?
We have a podcast here for you today. Lots of new news. Been a busy week in the old NBA. Hey.
Yeah.
And we've also got the beginnings of a recurring segment to unleash on you guys. So we're gonna start with the news. Top of the news. Enes Kanter. No. But Enes Kanter related because he's joined himself at the hip to LeBron James. LeBron James back for 2 games for the Lakers. Obviously, they lose the first game he's in. Second game, it's against the Pistons. No way the Lakers can lose. No way. Lakers are down 17 points to the Pistons. And LeBron just decides to lash out. Or does he? It's a free throw. Isaiah Stewart is leaning on LeBron. LeBron lashes out. Swings a closed fist. Closed fist is important. Swings a closed fist. Hits Isaiah Stewart just above the eye like Rocky. And he comes up bleeding and goes down to the ground. Once he realizes he's been hit and been hurt, he gets up and it's on. He wants to fight. They get split up, obviously. LeBron holds his hands up immediately to show that he is sorry for what happened. And they get separated. Isaiah Stewart just calms down. He's calm. He's cool. I'm cool. You don't need to hold me anymore. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna get him. He goes running back in again. He does that a couple of times before finally being ejected and sent to the back. Even when he went to the back, he ran off, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then LeBron is assessed a flagrant 2 and also ejected. So, fellas, many questions, many answers, hopefully. First question. Was it intentional? Jose.
I don't know if he meant to punch him, but LeBron definitely wanted to make a point there. Now, LeBron James has a record for being kind of like tough guy, showing his strength. Lovely. He's the king. Amazing. That's one of his qualities. I like that about him. And he wanted to show this youngster who's boss. They were down still. Isaiah Stewart was, probably being too tough for Bron, and he just wanted to make a point. So he probably thought that Stewart was there, and he just kind of like wanted to shuffle him away or something like that, but ended up punching him. I heard that later LeBron tried to apologize, tried to find his number, tried to get his number. Sorry, couldn't get it. Whatever. I don't think he meant to punch him, but Bron definitely had the intention to make a point, right? Yeah. So ejection. I think he got suspended for 1 game. Fair.
Okay, Thomas, kill him.
Oh,
kill him.
Wow, Thomas.
Yes.
Okay.
Full named you.
It's full named me. You don't have my middle name just yet, so there.
We're getting there, Jeffrey.
Thomas Jeffrey Jordan Arnal.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's dirty," but then I watched it over and over again, over like the multiple angles that they had available. I think it's one of those rebounding for free throw, for the missed shot, and somebody will grab somebody else, and then how you do, you just trying to push the other guy away from you. I actually think LeBron didn't see that the other guy's face was so down low.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's why he connected that, because you can tell that he's not looking at where the other guy's head is and then goes for a punch. He just literally, he looks as he's pushing/punching away. So I think what you said on the WhatsApp group, Dave, was very, very true. The way you described it, I was like, yeah, it's nothing malicious. It's just him trying to get clear from the other guy. So intentional in the way of, I'm fighting for the rebound, like, and why are you grabbing me? Get away from me, kind of thing. But unintentional that he was going for the head, for the face.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously he hit him where on your face is the easiest, like when you cut yourself there.
Yeah, it's almost like if they touch you, you're gonna start bleeding, right?
Yeah.
I got hit there once, and I started pissing blood. It was the same thing, but it's such a superficial cut. It's nothing actually. But it's just there. It's easier to cut because you've got the bone.
Yeah.
So it looks more spectacular than it really is. Horrible or painful. So it was fine. I think LeBron was under pressure from what you said during our pre-podcast meeting, which is you would quit the podcast and about basketball forever if the Lakers lost that game. So LeBron was like, nah, I need to get that spark back into my team.
Absolutely. So yeah, I had to put him under that pressure because he's been coasting. They've been coasting as a team. You see, AD got the message after LeBron went out. But yeah, I believe Isaiah Stewart received 8 stitches to close his eye. I mean, what I said in the group chat, you know, to live quote myself was I think he meant to hit him, right? He meant to swing, as you guys have said. He didn't know how low his head was. And yeah, I'm sure he assumed that he would hit him in the chest or just pull his arm out or pull his arm away from him or whatever, you know, just typical fighting for the rebound type of stuff. And yeah, that's not what happened. The only thing that gives me a little bit of cause to pause is the closed fist. I don't think you need to have a closed fist in that situation. Like, you're getting someone off you, it's almost more like you're almost more likely to have an open hand while you do it. If you're, you know, just getting someone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was a bit of a strange movement, but he's been punished for it, and he deserves to be punished for it regardless, because the fact of the matter is he closed his fist and he hit someone in the face.
The 1 game suspension is fair, I think. You don't.
And he's losing a lot more money for 1 game than Stewart is for 2 games.
For sure.
It's
like 5 times what Stewart loses.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that because the Lakers don't have to pay LeBron for the game, they actually claim back the money that they would have spent on the luxury tax.
All right.
Okay. So it's as if his contract is a smaller contract. His yearly contract is a smaller contract. So that for those that don't know how the luxury tax works, you have to pay X amount of dollars per dollar over the tax. And because LeBron's contract, as well as the others, put them over the tax, it's now as if he's 1 day short on his yearly contract. So the extra dollars they would have to pay on that contract don't get paid out, and they've saved something like $500,000 because of it. Insane.
That's ridiculous.
So what we're saying is LeBron should get suspended more often.
Do you think that he did it on purpose to help the Lakers because they're struggling?
Yeah. It's a struggling financial property.
They're not selling enough Kobe jerseys, probably. Yeah. I bet on Kobe jerseys they can pay LeBron's salary alone.
Probably. So that's that on that. Isaiah Stewart suspended 2 games because of all of the afters. It was a lot. It was a lot.
He kept running into people and trying to act crazy. Like, it's too much, man. It doesn't matter how old you are. Why do you have to keep doing it? Like how mad at you at a punch? Like it's basketball at the end of the day. Unless LeBron said something, which I don't think he did. He's not that kind of player, is he? He doesn't have any
something about his mama.
Or I don't know. They tell him you know Ben Wallace is tougher than you or something like that.
Someone else may have. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But those kind of theatrics, like I don't like that. You know, like
probably Westbrook.
It's Westbrook. Yeah, it's likely. You never know.
Yeah,
he did square up, didn't he?
He was in the back. Oh
it's
man,
part of the experience, man.
Like, hold me or I kill him. Hold me.
hold me.
Hold me.
Nobody else is holding you.
There was a lot of hold me backs out there.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, Lakers ended up overturning the deficit. Oh, before we move on, Cade Cunningham was the closest to Isaiah Stewart, and he was the only person that managed to get Isaiah Stewart to say, "Okay, cool, I'm calm." You know, as a rookie, he's already working as a sage, a wise sage.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of maturity, even when he gets compared to other rookies, and he's like, "I don't care about the numbers, just want to help the team." Blah blah blah. So that's promising.
It's all right.
Good game too. Decent game.
It was a good game. You could tell. Obviously, you see the experience there. The game was won by Melo, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook. So yeah.
There must have been quite a big gap in terms of averages and age. You know, like age averages. It's like 38 average on one and like 22s or something. It's like
something like that.
An entire career gap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the real story is that the Lakers minus LeBron, you know, that was a bigger loss for the Pistons minus Isaiah Stewart.
Right.
Telling.
Yeah.
Telling.
Sure.
Telling.
I mean, you fit reality however you wish to see it. That's great. The bigger story, I think, is to save the podcast. So that's what we can do.
AD saved the podcast. Show your gratitude.
Yeah.
Better be number one on all your top 10 lists next year.
Yeah, I'll give him another extra couple points. It's fine.
Yeah. Just take them off Harden.
Absolutely.
Have him 15.
With pleasure.
All right. So with that out of the way, we can move to our main topic.
Yeah. Which
is the MVP race. We did not do a traditional awards podcast before the show because we didn't before the season. We didn't want to embarrass ourselves by getting everything right. We're too humble for that. So we are gonna periodically check in on the award races, and we're gonna start with the MVP race. So NBA.com. Specifically Michael C. Wright at NBA.com, shouts to him, put out his first Kia MVP race article on the NBA.com website. And he has, along with some story and context as to what's been going on, ranked the players. Oh, sorry, it's his second, because there is data on what the rankings were the last time. Currently, he has Steph Curry, number 1. Number 2, he has Kevin Durant. Number 3, Nikola Jokic. Number 4, oh, it's loading. DeMar DeRozan. Number 5, Jimmy Butler. And then the next 5 is Giannis Antetokounmpo, Paul George, Ja Morant, Chris Paul, and Zach LaVine. Other people receiving votes: Devin Booker, Miles Bridges, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert. So, first things first, what do we think of that list?
So we start with Steph, right?
Steph Curry.
Sorry, Steph. Steph is first.
I mean, Steph's been pretty good this year.
Seth is the only one in the 50, 40, 90 club right now. But Steph is just playing, I think he's playing better than his MVP season, man. Like the way he's just unbelievable, isn't he? I think.
Do you want his stats real quick? Which is
Go for it.
28.4 a game, 6.6 assists, almost 6 rebounds, and shooting 41% for three.
It's just incredible, man.
Attempting 13 threes a game.
It's the most ever.
Yeah.
Most ever attempts. And he's ahead of his 300 points on a season record.
Yeah. So his own record was 402.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think he's on par to do 415 right now.
Yeah.
He attempts 13 3-pointers out of his 20 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes 45% of them. 41. But and 45% overall. So it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous what he's doing. I don't think anybody has a chance against him if he carries on for another 20 games.
It's the wins that will do it. It's the wins and the health. As long as he can stay healthy, as long as he plays 70 games, and they stay relatively close to the top of the West and the top of the league, he'll go away with it. He'll run away with it.
I think they'll finish first in the West because they've got Thompson coming back. They look really good.
Yes, and Thompson, but Thompson can hurt Steph's chances. Steph is not going to score the same points with Thompson.
Yeah, but Thompson's not going to. I don't think
he's going to score more. He's going to score less because Thompson will need the ball a little bit more.
I don't think they'll play him all that much during the season. I think they'll get him in the game to run around, get a feel for it, and then maybe get a lot of time management out of him. And then keep him fresh for the playoffs. Then the playoffs, you might see a drop in. I don't even believe what I'm saying, but you might see a drop in Curry's production.
So you think if the Golden State Warriors finish top 4 in the West, then Steph continues his MVP?
Likely, but I mean, I don't know if, because to end up 4th, for example, would be a drop off, and I don't know if that would reflect. That would probably reflect poorly on him in terms of the race, right?
Sure.
That whoever rises to the top and the other teams that overtake will likely have candidates who would come to the forefront, and also out east, you have a couple of MVP candidates in Giannis and the Nets. And if they overtake the Warriors, that would bolster their cases as well. But I think top 2, probably top 3, and he takes it. But no, I don't think Steph would take. I don't think Clay would take away from his case, because when they won 102 games and Steph won a unanimous MVP, Clay was there. Clay was there. The what Clay will do is improve the offense overall, right? This year they're I think they're 5th in offense right now. It changes obviously this early season. They're 1st in defense.
It's scary.
And so I think overall they'll score more points. The offense will be better, but I think Steph will even take the same number of shots. Like you said, he's only taken 20 shots per game. That is not a huge amount at all.
No.
Only him and Durant take so few shots and score close to 30 points a game. They're ridiculously efficient.
Think of it that way. They played the Raptors yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Yeah.
And he ended up with 12 points, which is his lowest scoring from the start of the season. But they still won by 15. And
because you got Poole and Wiggins. Wiggins playing what?
30 plus.
If you watch the highlights, the Raptors were doing full court defense on Curry only, leaving the other guys open. So imagine dropping
Clay in there,
Clay in there, and you're trying to play box defense on Curry. He's gonna start dishing out assists, so you might see some crazy assist stats out there. Like 15.
Scary times.
Really fun. So and I agree with Dave. Like he's been MVP with Clay on the roster playing major minutes. So I don't know. If they finish top three in the West, and they still play sexy as they do, and he's being influential as he is on that team. Like why couldn't it be Curry?
Yeah.
It's not a mad theory.
And then he's also so beloved by the writers who vote on this, right?
Yeah.
Like damn near everyone loves to watch Steph anyway. But writers especially just love to watch him play, love to see him succeed, love to watch the Warriors win. Like, there's a reason why he was the first unanimous MVP, and it's the excitement and joy he brings to fans and anyone that watches basketball, really.
I remember Curry is the new. I was the guy on on the Pistons in the 90s that everybody loved.
In the 90s, Grant Hill.
To me, he's the new Grant Hill. Like, everybody loves him. Like, he's very off the court. There's no horrible stories about him. Like, he's got this nice family life. He's got this thing that
good reputation.
And it's the same thing with Curry. It's like everybody wants to watch him play, and he's changed the game recently.
Changed the game,
and it would be a great. It's not a redemption story, but like, it would be a great comeback story. And like we say, it's always the MVP. There's a large part of how those MVP titles are given out is the story behind it. It's not. I always say it's 50-50, like 50% the story behind what the narrative around the player is, and 50% what they do on the court. So that's why when you say, if they finish top 4, it's almost, it does matter, but it's not that prevalent to me. It can be, it's if you ask people, are you going to vote KD? Like, most people don't like KD because of the things he does on social media, and like he's not really that great of an interview for journalists as well, because he's always kind of moody and shut.
Yeah, he's not neutral. He's very outspoken.
Yeah, it's not even that. You can be outspoken and be liked and stuff like that. I think KD's got that thing when you're like, I don't like, even every time I hear about KD, when I see him on Twitter, like he tweeted today or yesterday, it was like telling everybody he's very close to everyone to fuck off. I'm like, yes,
telling people how broke they are.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, you're a badass. Okay, that's great. We like it, but like, part of it is how can you sell yourself to almost the masses and people out there that may not be basketball fans or experts. And if I'm a journalist or someone on, especially in the US, and I go live on TV and I go, hey, look at that, that's KD's tweets. Tell everyone you'll fuck up, poor people. And then you show Steph Curry's Instagram. There's a massive difference in marketing and in terms of story that's being told. And you might say it's fake, one is real, whatever, but it does matter for the media and the brand. So all things to take into account.
Yeah. So then if we move across to Durant, he's second in the rankings. He was first in the prior rankings. So I think the statement win that Steph had over Brooklyn, where he was getting MVP chance in the Barclays Center, I think that sort of tipped the balance here, as well as it being a win for the Warriors and a loss for the Nets. Yeah. Durant's over there. He's playing well, close to his peak still. The Nets are winning, even though for some reason I feel like people don't, and me included, don't realize or don't feel like they're operating at the peak of their powers. I feel like there's still a lot going wrong.
Let's put it. Actually, I've watched two. I actually watched two Nets game. This shit's tragic. Like, in terms of actual basketball, it's like you're wondering what Steve Nash doing over there. I'm watching it. I'm like, what is this? It's like, okay, give the ball to KD, and then once he's on the bench, if he's ever on the bench, I'll give it to James Harden. Like, in terms of the rest, it's just
But then, with all that said, they're on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 8 of 2, and they have a 13-5 record, 17-2 on the road. That's the third best road record in the league. So they're still flying, right? Yeah. Like, they're still doing really well, despite all of that, in a newly tough Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Let me do my analogy with the Nets and Team USA that we saw during the World Cup. I think that's what my analogy is. Like Team USA, when KD was on the bench, absolute garbage. That I was like, this is a different team. When KD was on court, I mean, you saw it in the finals, you saw it during no, it was the Olympics, sorry, not the World Cup.
Yeah.
Two different teams, and it's the same on the Nets. Like when he's on the bench, it's like, whoa, what's going on? It's very suspicious. And then when he's back on, it's like, well, everything goes through him. So actually, it's a weird thing to say, but that almost makes him more of an MVP than Steph. That's how good he is.
He's more. But that's the thing. Who is more valuable for their team? I think they're pretty even, don't you think?
I think this is how I separate them. They both. I think to me, it's very equal. It's if you look at the Warriors and if you look at the Nets playing without them on the court. The one team, the Warriors, still plays the same basketball. They're still moving the ball around. They still do. It's actually a pleasure to watch. The Nets is quite the opposite. It's kind of it's like I said before. It's just really weird. And the top of top of the East now.
Yep, top of the East.
It baffles me. It really does baffle me.
But that's how good the superstar talent is, right? That's exactly how good the top end talent is.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why he should be level number one with Curry. But it does baffle me with what I'm seeing. It's not because it's the Nets. It's literally because I'm like, let me see what after all the thing that we, all the things we heard in the preseason of like this is the best roster we've seen. It's like great talent everywhere, but that's it's like it doesn't really gel on the court. I don't know if it's coaching, but KD, yes, could be MVP too. Jarrett,
he could easily take it. It's just a matter of how things play out. But again, back to his best. You talk about comeback stories. Last season he played incredibly, but it's easy to forget that he only played 30 games during the regular season. So for him to be back playing his best and playing every game, I think he missed one game, missed the game against Orlando, and they managed to eke out a win just about with Harden at the helm. But he's coming off two years out, just one season ago, and even then that season was 1 year ago, right? We started a year ago.
He only played 35 games last season.
Plus playoffs. So he's still not he's not another 82 games in. He's still basically in his comeback season right now. And he looks great doing it.
Yeah, he's scoring 28 and a half per game. Like, so he's averaging more than Steph, attempting only three points per game. So often we talk about DeRozan and being like a
2-point
specialist, whatever, like half range, mid range shot. But Durant is better than DeRozan from the 2-point range. Like, he's freaking unstoppable. He's so tall as well, such long arms. I don't think there's anybody that can defend Durant right now.
No, he's shooting almost 60% from mid range.
That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. 60%. Like, it's just ridiculous.
That is insane. Like, that is actually an insane percentage.
Because he doesn't take. Because if you say 2-pointers, some layups are one or two layups. The rest are all mid-range shots, not easy shots. They're all contested. Because I haven't seen Durant take a shot not contested. He's got a hand on his face every single time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's just shooting over everyone. Double teams, it doesn't matter. But I think that percentage even dropped a little bit because in that Warriors game, he went 0 for 8 in the third. And I don't think he scored. He didn't score a field goal in the fourth either. I think he might have scored some free throws. But so that was over 60%. I think when I heard it last week, it was like 61 or 63 or something like that, from the mid-range, not 2-point range, from the mid-range. So that's not including layups or floaters or anything like that. Which is it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
It's like, how do you explain it? Like,
yeah, if you can shoot that from the mid-range, you don't even need to shoot threes, really.
Why would you shoot three?
I mean, you're still shooting 43% from three.
Yeah, it still is.
Which is higher than Steph.
Less attempts.
Yes, yeah.
A third of Steph's attempts. Less than a third.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's shooting so many threes. And that's the other thing that Steph's advancing. I know we've moved on, but his threes are more difficult now than they used to be.
Yeah.
He's taking tougher threes. He's taking more like step backs, and he's added all of those moving threes into his game. Whereas before it was just the catch and shoot and there's threes off the dribble.
Yeah.
But now he's really like improved his 3-point shooting repertoire, adding all the moves that everyone else has brought in and perfected, the Hardens and everyone else, the sidestep threes and all of that stuff. Ridiculous. Anyway, third on the list, and I think he's gonna start to slide a little because their record isn't looking too great with all of the injuries they have. But Nikola Jokic, still in MVP form. If you go and look at his advanced statistics, he is I think he's right now has the highest PER of all time. And PERs is a catch-all stat. It's not the be-all and end-all of stats for sure, but it's interesting that he has the greatest PER of all time. Yeah, he continues to just show his passing. The assists are all the way up there again this year. The rebounding is all the way up there again this year. And he's just like the best offensive big in the league. It's scary.
Even considering Embiid and Kat and Davis still.
He's just such a ridiculously good fulcrum of a team. Give it to him in the post, give it to him at the top of the key, kick it out to him, he can hit the three. Any mismatch is going under the rim and he's going to finish on you. Like, he's just ridiculous. Again, another person with an excellent mid-range shot, and arguably the best floater for a big man as well. So however you want it, he's going to give it to you. And then
he's improved on defense as well.
Yeah.
There's a stat somewhere out there that he's making a real difference in terms of points per possession when he's on the floor. I can't remember what it was, but it's actually quite massive. I think it's about 18 points or 20 points.
Wow.
Gains on defense when he's on the floor, I think.
And his field goal percentage is super high. So it's like 59%. He takes shorter, like shots closer to the basket than Steph and KD, obviously. But he's not shooting that many field goals per game. Like, it's 17 per game. So still averaging 26. The thing is with Jokic, and I obviously follow the Nuggets. I would like the Nuggets to do better. They're not doing better. I think Jokic is arguably more important for his team than the other two are for their teams. But that being said, he's really important for them, but they're not winning. Right? So, as you said, Dave, since their record is not good, if their record was closer to third or fourth on the West right now, it would be a different story. But they're not. They're like what, eighth right now?
Eighth, yeah.
That's that. You see. So that to me is like, yeah, you're really good for your team, but your team's not winning. So, he's still being considered because he's a reigning MVP, right? So fair enough. Yeah. As Giannis was after his 2 MVP seasons. So if the Nuggets are winning, sure, but if they don't, he's not going to be considered anymore.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously the records are so close together now that a few losses hurt you, and they've lost 4 in a row. So some of those losses will have come after this list was published, and some of the other players and teams will have risen. Looking at the standings now, I think quite a lot has changed in the West lately.
It's crazy. It's so close.
So next on the list, we have DeMar DeRozan. Mentioned him already for his two-range specialism. But the Bulls are a story in themselves. As we said last week, I popped up on the UK Chicago Bulls podcast. Shout out to Jimmy over there. Go and check out that podcast on YouTube. And they're just doing so well. Offensively and defensively, they have surprised everyone. I think they are pretty close to the top of the East standings as well, currently in second place behind the Nets. But he's been their best player. We know Zach LaVine is the franchise player there. They've obviously signed Vooch in the transfer window, brought in Lonzo and Caruso in the offseason, and they're playing exciting, fast, the ball's moving. They're really entertaining to watch, as we expected them to be before the season. But they're winning, right? I think that's what we didn't expect, that they would defend this well and that they would be winning this many games. And yeah, he's been their best player.
Yeah, but what an amazing season for him. To be fair, like he had good seasons with the Spurs as well, and with Toronto. But now he's on a winning team, right? That as you said, exciting basketball, flashy, is what people want to see. They're running. He's showing, I think, his best defense.
Yeah,
because he's trying, you know. So yeah, exciting. Good for him. I don't think he has a chance of winning the MVP unless he, starts scoring 10 more a game and becomes undeniable. But I mean, all-star performances so far. I think he will be an all-star at this pace.
Oh, for sure. Nailed on.
Back to being an all-star, right?
Yeah.
He was snubbed for 2 years.
Yeah, I had him in mind. And he's back east.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
Tom?
all right. Just on the weird team, but yeah, that's fine. He'd be an all-star. I don't see him getting higher than this. I would have had Giannis on like
higher
before
a spot. Yeah, higher, like on the fourth, and then maybe DeRozan at 5, but
just because you love the Bulls so much.
Yeah, I love them. I love that team. The best, just the best thing,
Did the Bulls ever beat the Knicks in the 90s?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I was very young.
We beat them too.
I mean, did basketball count before 2000? Oh
yes, you counted more. Yeah, he's all right. I've got nothing to say. He's all right.
Oh, man.
I watch Bulls highlights any day, man. Like, it's just really fun to watch. I can't get over, and this is super off topic with the MVP race, but Lonzo Ball's shooting form. Oh my God! What? Well, I mean, it took 3 years,
4 years,
perfected, but wow, so good.
Shooting over 40% from 3, and he's taking like 9 a game, 7, 8, 9 a game.
MIP.
Unbelievable.
It's a lot.
Maybe he should train with a certain Benjamin S.
Benjamin S.
Someone in a number 25 jersey, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe they should share the same shooting coach.
Nah, share him with Westbrook.
With Sean Marion, who thinks he should be in the 75 players list. Sean Marion, come on.
Top 75 Matrix. Jump shots, baby.
The Matrix.
Did make me laugh.
Fifth on the list, we have the great Jimmy Butler, the one man on the planet who's still getting to the line at the exact. I think he's getting to the line a little bit more than he was last season.
He is.
Yeah, because he doesn't play that fake stuff. The Miami Heat are currently ranked in third in the East, tied with the Wizards and the Hornets, one game ahead of the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers. So that could change anytime. But the Heat have been good to start the season. They've got Kyle Lowry joined that team over there, PJ Tucker as well, both bringing a lot of toughness to a team who have a tough leader in Jimmy Butler. He's been super efficient, showcasing his all-round game, still excellent on defense, forcing turnovers and locking people up, and then getting high efficiency buckets on the other end. I expect him to stay in this similar range, 5, 6, 7, throughout the season. But I don't think he'll ever have the gaudy numbers to finish like top 3 on the year.
I think his boat has sailed in terms of storyline. Again, like going back to the story, I think his chance was a couple of years ago, was it? Maybe in the bubble, like that bubble season, or like the year before. But I think now it's like, it's the train has missed the station. In that respect, I think the only way that would change would be if he would be averaging like 35 a game, finishing top of the East and being an
same as Rosen. Same story. Like good for them to be considered this high, but that's as high as you're gonna get, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll get your all-star votes, but again, like he would be a contender, like averaging 35 a game and 5 blocks, and
Yeah, it's like any of these guys. If they don't win MVP, they could win Finals MVP if their team wins the Finals, right?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. Yeah.
But they're not gonna win season MVP.
Yeah,
that's Steph or Campazzo.
Maybe Campazzo. For some reason, they left him off this list. I don't know what Michael C. Wright was thinking.
He doesn't like him. It's a personal thing.
Bias. All right, so that's the rundown of the top 5. Is there anyone who you guys would have in the top 5 now? Obviously, with the foresight of the results that have come to pass since that list was made.
I think we mentioned him. It's Giannis, isn't it? Like 27 a game. His 3-point percentage is not that good, but he's
started
4 or 5,
well though,
right?
didn't he? He started well though, didn't he? He hit a few in the first couple games. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's it." But he makes threes now. It's over. Shut the league down. What's he at? What's his 3-point percentage now?
27%. So. No, but I mean he's still as dominant as ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Still scores half of his shots anyway. A little bit better from the line, slightly better from the line than last year. And then it's just the blocks, the rebounds, 6 assists as well. Like, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Again, 27 a game. So. And he is extremely valuable for his team too, isn't it? He's won it before, so you never know with Giannis. He could do it all over again.
Yeah, that's another team that's surging. They've won their last 4 games with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton returning to the lineup. So they're surging. They'll fly up the list as their record improves. They've already tracked down those teams that I mentioned. So in the next week or so, they could easily be in a top 3 seed-ish kind of range.
I want to put like a mad one out there.
Go for it.
Don't mention Luka.
No. I'm actually being this number 1 stan. I don't think he's like. I'm even doubting the All-Star votes.
Hey.
Nah, maybe not. No, he'll be in there, but
he'll make
it's nowhere near
everybody in Slovenia will vote for him.
Of course. Again, it's in the same sort of things like that. Rudy Gobert, he was averaging 15 and 15. Like in another era, that would have been like what? Yeah, like if he was averaging another 10 points on top of his 15.
25 and 15, I see it.
25 and 15, that'd be sick.
23 and 15.
Yeah, even 23 and 15, you'll be talked about. And funny enough, like he's not averaging that many assists, but like he's been passing the ball really well, and he's got a mid-range shot now, and he's shooting 75%.
How many has he taken?
I don't know, but I think he's taking like 1 or 2 a game when he's literally taking mid-ranges. But he's done it with the national team as well, so it's not a brand new thing. But he's never done it in the NBA, and he's still averaging like he's. I think he's the only thing he's slightly up from his career in terms of stats. Like I think he's like a 12 points a game career. And now he's doing 15, and then he's averaging now 15 rebounds, and he's an average of 11, and then like still
MIP
2. Yeah, MIP consistency award. It should be a consistency award, like the Switzerland award. You know,
for boring players.
No, that's for
well
that's
done,
for
mate. You're still
Jacopo.
7 a game. Consistent. You never dropped below 7, but you
Lonzo
never went over
Ball.
7.2.
Well, he's shooting better from the free throw line as well.
Bonus.
Yeah, but I'm not saying by any stretch that he should be in the top 5 MVP. I'm saying that he is one of them that is, I think he's being overlooked slightly for his contribution, and that's what the MVP part of the MVP trophy is about. So like if I take you out of your team, it's what you said, Dave. Like who would be like you'll be that your team will be playing differently. You'll be a massive drop, and I think he's one of those. Again, I'm not saying that he should get any votes in the MVP, but I think that would be a mention. But there's a lot of people saying Ja Morant should be in there.
Morant, yeah.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are 6th in the West as we speak. Again, it's really, really close. They're only like a game or so, or 2 games away from being 10th. But yeah, Ja's been electric, lighting up damn near everyone he plays against. Saying that the Grizzlies have had some tough losses. They got battered by like 40 against the Timberwolves just the other day. But I mean, they're still 6th in the West, and that's an achievement. This early on, it's fine to highlight his play because he has been really, really impressive. He's
the new D Rose.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Some people have said Iverson. There's been a lot of comparisons to those really fun to watch scoring guards.
Yeah.
But their problem has been the defense. Like you mentioned, those 2 players in particular. Iverson's best season was when he was surrounded by Defensive Player of the Year and All NBA talent. Derrick Rose, the exact same thing, right? He wins an MVP and has the second best record in the East. And it was a defensive team, right? Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, and those guys around him locking down the defense, and then him carrying the offense on his own. Ja Morant doesn't have that. It's him running the offense and then them defending like sieves on the other end. So that's something that would have to improve for them to be spoken about in the same breath as these other teams. But for now, they're in 6th, tied with the Blazers. Lillard's had a really rough start to the year, but he started to pick things up after pouring points in against the Lakers.
He won Player of the Week last week.
There you go. Same thing happened with Tatum. They just beat the Lakers. Now he's pouring points in and shooting efficiently. So if you want to play well, you know who to face. You know who to face. Paul George would be my pick. Yeah. The Clippers are obviously without Kawhi Leonard and have been all season, but they're way up in 4th place in the West. And that's, first of all, a testament to Ty Lue and his coaching of that team. But Paul George has been putting up stellar numbers this season, and
he's literally having the same moves on offense than 10 years ago. Did you see that?
Oh my god!
Video? Did you see those 2
what
dunks
a
on the
poster?
It's the same one he did on the.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
almost to the
same one, yeah.
Frame by frame, the same one. It's just absolutely crazy.
Crazy.
He has a style, man. He has a style.
What was it? 10 years ago? 6 years ago?
I think it was just a few years back. Yeah, he's on the Pacers.
Crazy.
Same move, same.
It's against the Heat, right?
Against the Heat, so it has
the
to
finals.
be nine or 8 years ago.
Yeah, it will be
2012, 13.
13.
Crazy.
That was his coming out party.
Yeah.
Now he's averaging 26.4, 7.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. And I feel like people forgot how he's actually a decent playmaker because the Clippers suffer from not having enough playmaking. I actually think they should use him as a playmaker a little bit more. They still need playmaking at the point guard position, but I think he's a better playmaker than Kawhi is. And they should put the ball in his hands a little bit more. But yeah, he's doing it with not much help around him, and he's got that signature style. He's probably the smoothest player in the NBA, in my opinion.
Oh yes, I think he's it's the same that like he's on the same boat with Butler and DeRozan, where it's like again, the train has gone past the station. You've it's like, and because he became that player that was easy to dunk on, so to speak, doing the bubble again, like social media got all over his back and calling who was his Pandemic P. We all contributed to that, but what he had the adverse. This people forgot that he's actually a great player. That he was an MVP candidate, and in his head was an MVP at some point.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. But like he was that good. He's still that good. He's still great. That he's. I think we even forget about him when we do our top 10 players. Sometimes like he's always hovering around the like 11, 12 spot.
Yeah.
If you look at him objectively and you forget about that bubble thing, that was just almost out of time and an exception.
Not a bad defender either.
Yeah, exactly. He's like all around greatness. So that would be a great redemption story right there.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I think that's it. A little bit of extra news stuff. Luke Walton was let go by the Sacramento Kings. I think he's the 6th manager to be fired by Vivek Ranadive, owner of the Kings. So they've promoted Alvin Gentry to the number 1 coaching role. Who's a really, really good coach, especially on offense. I really wish he would join the Lakers as an offensive specialist, because he could really get things churning, get things moving. AD had his best seasons under Alvin Gentry. So we'll see what he can do with that lineup over there, which isn't the best of lineups at the Kings.
I mean, they took their sweet time to make that move, because I think Kings fans were just dying for them to move on.
GM needs to go, man.
Because they took so long to get away from.
They changed GM.
They did. the GM that's there didn't hire Luke Walton.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Yeah, they just
go to Seattle or something like. Right?
The Kings.
They just built a new stadium.
Yeah.
Leave the Kings
new arena.
They're nice. They're cool.
Bring Blessed Divac back.
Oh, God. You mean on the court?
He really messed them up.
Something.
He really messed them up. Oh my gosh.
Vlade.
All right. 3 words to describe Scottie Pippen right now. 3 words to describe Scottie Pippen.
Get some help.
Please get help.
Bitter number 2.
Stay off weed.
Yeah, he's over there wilding, man.
He wants to sell more books, man.
Got to sell those books. He sold his whiskey a few months ago. Now he's got to sell him books. So go and buy his book.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Let me shit on everyone.
Are you meant to read his book while drinking his whiskey, though? Because that might make the book better.
There you go. There you go. I think that's what he did while he was writing his book.
And while he was giving these interviews lately.
Yeah. But I'm actually quite sad to see him behaving like he at one point was my favorite player over Jordan. Like when I was watching them play, I would rather watch Pippen play than not put it that way, but like I was admire his game because of how complete it was. But then to see him completely, I know, like you say, he's trying to sell a book and all that stuff, but it's like, you're shitting on the legacy.
Yeah, there's no need to go like.
There's no need.
I mean, but again, like, why is he doing it? Sell more books, get new fame, make some more cash. All right,
so all the attention. Attention.
Take a dump on
30-year-old
kids' dreams.
Yeah, he's wilding. Yeah. He should have played for the Knicks. All right. On that note, it is time to depart. Remember to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. All that good stuff. Tell a friend. Spread the word. Word of mouth is also good. 5-star reviews, please. Otherwise, keep it to yourself. I've been your host, David Sagoe. That's been Thomas Arnal.
Bing bong.
Your turn. What?
Did you say that when you lost to the Magic as well?
Twice.
Yeah. And you got the Lakers next.
Oh no. Well, I mean,
we've got the run we're going on now is gonna be lethal. The next 10 games are just
no LeBron.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Jose, Garcia, Vidal.
Bye. Ding dong.
And we're out.
Do I have to?
Ring the bell. The fight's over. LeBron, TKO.
Cool.
Bye.
Goodbye.